And we're back. Paul Jones joins us, voice of the one of the voices of the Toronto Raptors. Um, been a rugged last month or more than a month, I guess, for the Raptors. Um,
Mhm.
although this team is in the midst of a six-game homestand, did you feel like this homestand was going to determine what the general manager or Masai Ujiri is going to do with the rest of the season?
Bob, I don't know. There's part of me that said, yeah, because they're about winning. And we all know you can't unring that bell. Once you've been to the top of the mountain, everybody wants it again. And, you think about it, last year at this point, they had drafted Scotty Barnes, and people still wanted them to draft Jalen Suggs. You're coming off, like I said, a terrible year in Tampa, in the lottery, still playing some games in front of empty arenas or half filled arenas or limited capacity. And they played well last year. And as we know, you play well, it changes the expectations around the timetable for success, and people want more right away. Um, Development's not linear. You go forward, you go backward, you push forward, you go a little forward, you go backward. So it depends on what they want. Like some people say, "Wow, what do you want to be in the play-in for?" Well, you got to start somewhere. And some people says, "Well, yeah, they don't need that experience." Well, I bet you any kind of close game playoff environment, uh, if you could win a couple in the play-in and get to a seven-game series like you did last year, you didn't have to do the play-in, but it's valuable for guys like Scotty and Precious Achua and some of these guys that have never been there before. So I mean, my feeling is I'd play it out because people are just looking to pick at you now. You're 17 and 23 as we record this. Um, Articles are out there. The rest of the NBA is waiting to see what Toronto does. And with this new playing format, Bob and John, teams are a little more reluctant to let go of the rope early. They figure if they can get in and catch lightning in a bottle, it's like buying a ticket for the lottery. You know, Possible, but not maybe probable. But it changes the landscape, I think. So um, I wouldn't be so sure that if this homestand goes well or it goes poorly, that's going to change. I mean, the evaluations might change, but I don't know how much it'll change the plan for the front office.
So do you think that Masai, as an example, is committed to this group, or do you think he is inclined to blow this thing up or trade somebody significant?
I don't know if he's planned to blow it up. Um,
He's committed to winning, though, isn't he, Paul? I mean, in the
he
end,
is, he is John, and he always says that. So to see him pull a big trade, to see him trade a significant piece, would not surprise me if they have a plan, knowing that that piece will bring back certain things and they can go forward from there. So, I Bob, I'd be guessing if I said I knew what he was going to do or this homestand was going to determine. There's a lot of people out there that figure, well, if they don't do well on this homestand, you throw the towel and you let go of the rope and you start selling people or looking towards next year or the future. But I mean, it was about this time last year. They went 25 and 11 over the last 36 games. They were 500, and they won two out of every three coming home in the last third of the season, and they end up in sixth. And they've got certainly three more winnable games on this homestand now, with Charlotte twice and Atlanta. So now you're at four in a row. You're a couple games below 500. Who knows?
Who would you, John has asked me this, who would you not trade? And for me, there's only one, and that's Siakam.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about trading anybody right now. You have to remember that uh, you can use things to your advantage in June around draft day with sign
Mhm.
and trades. I
Yeah.
mean, there's a lot of noise right now about Fred Van Vliet and his extension. I mean, they were in the same position with Norm Powell a couple of years ago where Gary Trent is, and they decided to make a move there.
Well, aren't
you
they in
can
the same
always,
boat with Trent as well right
yeah,
now? The same
yeah,
thing.
exactly, John,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm not the GM, but I would have waited to see what I could get in a sign and trade for Norm. Offer him out there and say, okay, here's what we're going to give him. Let's look at some contracts that match. It might have given you more options. Although Gary's played well for them. He really has. He's been better defensively than I thought he would be, and he can score. He doesn't have the experience that Norm has, and I think Norm's a really valuable chip for the Clippers right now. But Bob, to your question, anybody's up for trade. I don't know if I'd trade Pascal right now. I don't know if I'd trade anybody right now. But once we get to June, regardless of what happens, especially with bird rights and being able to re-sign your own guys for more money, then I think those trades become more attractive.
But what are you looking for in exchange if you trade anybody? Are you looking for future? Are you looking for draft choices? You're probably not going to get something that's going to help you in the present. Or are you?
Which is why I'd play it out. If you don't think I don't look, if there's anybody really good for the present, don't you think a team, I mean, there's 10 teams in the play-in, Toronto's 11, Washington's 12, Orlando's a young team, but if there's anybody good, don't you think they're going to hang on to them unless you're giving them something really good, and that way you're shuffling the deck shares.
I think
right?
That's the point.
Right. So to me, I'm patient. I'm hanging on to that, and I'm waiting till the next de facto trade deadline day, which is draft day.
Mm-hmm.
And that way, those picks, what number, where that pick is, a little bit more about it. You have more information to make the deal. So if I'm making a deal, it'll be on draft day and it'll be for the future. Masai's a guy that does a lot of his work in the summer, Bob, and he talks about that. I do my work in the summer and let the team go forward and develop and see what we have and see if there's a tweak needed here or there. But I don't think, I mean, even the DeMar trade for Kawhi, that was made in the summer. I don't think that he's one to, kind of blow it up in the middle of the season with big deals.